Yo, yo, it's JSF. How y'all doing? Hope everybody is doing well. And at first, I was originally gonna just, move on from Mortal Kombat 11, kind of just go to what's next. I'm gonna be playing Guilty Gear Strive, and that game actually drops tonight at midnight for North America US players. So if you're wondering why I'm doing this video now, it's because I'm gonna be playing that game with most of my time, and some more of my content is gonna be on that game. But hey, the next NetherRealm game or NRS game, whatever it is, a Marvel game or whatever, will get covered on this channel as well. But before I did move on, I was thinking about it today and was like, well, maybe I should at least get off my final thoughts. Like the last things that I just want to say about this game, the last things I've been thinking about, and just how I felt about it, at the end of its life. Because I do feel like after the month of June, it's 100% done. Like the community is still going to try to do what it does because that's what communities do, right? People still run tournaments for Ultimate Marvel 3, but nobody's arguing that that's not a dead game, right? So, that is what that is. But before we just, like I said, before I just moved on, I did want to talk about the game one last time fully. And who's to say I won't talk about it again, but I don't plan on making a bunch of more videos about it just because I feel like I've kind of said everything I want to say about this game for the most part, as far as things that need to have a whole video, in my opinion. Like, I feel like I've said everything, I've said my piece on those things, but there are some little things that I haven't addressed and some things that I might have changed my opinion on, or my opinion just might have naturally evolved from back then. So to get that out of the way, and subscribe if y'all do want more content. Now that I have a new game to play, there will be a lot more content on the channel. For those of y'all who do support, I appreciate and love y'all. If y'all just wanted to see more MK, I'm sorry to disappoint y'all, but we'll get back to it. Anyway, back to the video in itself, right? So about this game, about this how I feel about this game, right? At the end of it all, I do gotta thank this game a little bit. I do gotta say that, as much as I speak poorly of this game and say that it was trash and it's this and that, I do gotta say that it did inspire me to do content more consistently, or at the very least to just, continue to do it and, not give up on it after a month or 2 months or 3 months. Whether I was doing guides, whether I was doing critiques, whether I was doing suggestions, whether I was doing ideas, or, breakdowns, whatever it was, I always would come back to this game and always, put out something. And eventually, like you guys have been watching my videos for a while, it went to 100 subscribers, went to 200, 300, 400, 1,000, 1,500. And I appreciate and really, 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 really appreciate everybody who's watched all my videos. So I can't just say I wish I never, I was asked once, do you wish you never wasted your money on this game? Do you wish you never played it? And I can't say that, right? I can never say I wish I never played this game, because this game got my YouTube channel. It got me to even care about making a YouTube channel. Got me to, start streaming a little bit. And I'm not a big streamer or anything. I'm not a huge YouTuber or anything like that. But it's been cool, man. It's been really fun. It's been a really nice journey. And I'm not ending the journey here. I want to keep doing more fighting game content. I want to keep playing. I want to play in tournaments. I want to compete. So, with games in the future, especially with Strive coming out, I definitely plan on playing a lot of tournaments. I hope to go to some offline events. I hope to do a lot, man. I hope to work with other content creators and stuff like that. So, there's more to it and more to what's going on. But I do gotta thank this game before I shit on it again, right? I do gotta give this game some props and say, yo, hey man, you did do something for me, right? And honestly, this game can be really fun. This game can be enjoyable. I would be lying if I said I never had fun playing the game, right? But as I say that, I do think that playing the game is pretty trash. Streaming the game can be really fun. Playing it with other people watching, talking to other people, playing with other people, having other people involved, or just playing it with your friends, right? Can be fun. So it's not all bad, but there are a lot of things in the game that are just nonsense, right? Recently in the past, let's say month, I started playing Cabal and its air dash variation, and it's ridiculous. It's really stupid. I'm sure every time you guys see me play Cabal, all I do is jump repeatedly, right? And then people anti-air me and I'm like, that's cool, man. I'm just going to keep jumping. It's nonsense. And there's just a lot of that in this game. And I made my video about this game not being a fighting game, so I'm not going to rehash that. That's another reason I haven't been doing too much content, is I just feel like I've said it all. I don't want to rehash stuff. But Yeah, like there are just certain things in the game that are just blatantly ridiculously like silly. It's like I always say it's cartoony. Like this shit is like an episode of Looney Tunes more than it is like a fighting game. It's like why would you put that in your game? You know what I mean? Like it's interesting. And in it's not it honestly, characters like Cabal being silly didn't ruin the game. Hell, even Cetrion didn't ruin the game. Even though she's annoying as hell, it's more just the system mechanics and the overall combat design that ruined the game. Not one specific character. Like, Liu Kang is silly, Jackie is silly, Cabal is silly. We know Shiva was silly. They actually nerfed Shiva because they had to. Everybody in the fucking world saw a tournament, just saw Shiva stomping. The Shiva stomp heard around the world, you know what I mean? So they had to tone that down. But I think honestly, just certain little things, and something I've been saying for a little while, and something that other fighting games have that I think this game could have benefited from is like a priority system, right? In the game, like let's say Street Fighter, you have light, medium, and heavy buttons. If your opponent does a heavy button and you do a light button at the same time, and you guys meet up on the same frame, the heavy button is gonna win because it has priority, right? I think something like that could have helped in this game if like mids and like strings had priority over like pokes. It would just be another way to help stop mashing, basically. If you didn't want to nerf low pokes again, just say, hey, if his low poke hits you while your mid animation is out, your mid should hit. Like, sometimes stuff like that will trade. Sometimes a low will low profile and win. But that was one big change about this. One big thing about this game that I was like, I really wish, like, because that would just smoke a lot of things, right? And another thing that I've said for a while, and I recently saw XZ say on Twitter, is change the cancel advantage on low pokes. So characters who do like down forward special move and stuff like that. And he had an interesting video on it as well. I'll post it so because I can't remember all of it off the top of my head. So I'll put it in the video. So shout out to XZs as always. NRS should have been hired that man. But that's an idea I've said in videos for a while. But I just straight up say you shouldn't be able to cancel low pokes, down ones, down threes, down fours. You shouldn't be able to cancel them just the same way you can't cancel down twos, right? And if you're gonna be able to cancel them, you should only be able to cancel them into high moves. That way, like if I do a low poke after I block your low poke, I don't get punished for it, type of deal, right? But alas, they set up Sindel's crushing blow to punish you for that, so you know they don't want you to counter poke. It's just crazy, man. And this game has been a whole interesting journey of the same bullshit. And if this game taught you anything about fighting games, let it be that don't let anyone tell you that, hey, that's not gonna be like that, or they're gonna fix that. They're not that stupid. Like, and you know what I mean? It is what it is. Shout out to NetherRealm for making a game, but I can't be objective and honest if I call them smart. If I say that they know what they're doing, I would be lying to you guys. So, like, you'll see things like in a beta version of a game or early version of a game, or like when the game is first getting shown off, like, oh, they're definitely going to change that by release time. Don't always assume that, because like we saw with this game, the developer just literally they either didn't know or didn't want to make a good fighting game, right? They like the way breakaway functions. They like the way some of this shit works in the game. They like the way jumping is in this game. They have had no desire to change it, right? So don't always think that the developer knows better than you. Don't always think that the pro players know better than you. Because honestly, if you play the game and you play it all the time at any part of a competent level, you probably know. Like, it doesn't take a scientist. It doesn't take a professional. It doesn't take a developer to see that jumping is stupid as hell in this game, right? So, you know what I mean? That's something I do want people to take away from this, because that's something that happens with every new game. Like, oh, well, that's not going to be in the game later on, or they're definitely going to fix that. Don't worry about it. Or the people who say it's not that bad. Shiva Stomp is not that bad. Like, it clearly was that bad. It clearly was that bad to the worst players and the best players in the world. All were getting hit by it. It was all a big deal. But yeah. At the end of the game, where we're at now, you know, and shout out to everybody who runs tournaments and does what they can to keep the game alive. I know y'all just doing that because you got no other game to play. I understand the struggle. I just can't put myself through the mental torture of playing this game. Thank the base god, I no longer have to. But one other thing that I do want to go over is my final tier list for this game. Since, you know, my final thoughts and my final takes on the game, I do want to go over my final tier list. So here we got my final tier list, and this isn't a tier list video, right? So I'm not gonna break down every single character, every single why is everything where it is. I think you can look at most things and see and go, okay, yeah, I can see why that's there. And even now, right, I kind of did this in a minute or two. Some of these characters can move a tier a little bit, just a little bit. But for the most part, this is where I would just stand with it, right? The overpowered characters, I got Sub-Zero, Terminator, Liu Kang, Cabal, Jackie, Cetrion. Sub-Zero's up there because of his mix and the fact that he shuts down neutral. And when you're respecting the fact that he can shut down neutral, you can get mixed and you have to guess on the mix. He can force you to guess like almost no other character can do. And he can convert it to big damage off the low or the overhead. It's silly. I don't think we need to go over that. Terminator still slept on somehow. The character's fucked up. He's got a ton of options, but he's one of those characters where you got to know when to play what variation and how to play them. He does have some issues, but he's still fucked up. Even Liu Kang has issues. Liu Kang has whiffing issues and stuff like that, but doesn't make the character less stupid. Cabal's up there. You know, the S tier are the characters that I think need to be nerfed, right? I think they need to be reworked or nerfed. Like, they're too good. Like, these characters are too good. These are the characters that are too fucking good. The tier under it are the top tier characters. Like, these characters are good, but they can more or less stay the way they are. They don't necessarily need nerfs, right? They might be annoying to fight, they might be really good, but they're not overpowered to the point where it's like, wow, once this character's on the screen, what the fuck am I gonna do, right? Where Cabal can just have you sitting there blocking for 30 seconds straight. Like, it's silly, right? And I don't think anybody's gonna argue with any of these. Joker, Johnny, Fujin, Kung Lao's top tier. If anybody says he's not, you're bugging. Jax is top tier, same thing. Noob Saibot's fucked up. All these characters are top tier. Sindel's top tier. Anybody who disagrees doesn't know what they're talking about. Sorry, she's top tier. She's mad good. She's mad good. Sindel is Sub-Zero damn near. She's almost the same as Sub-Zero. She's got mix for days. She's got a low launcher that's damn near safe. She's got an overhead launcher that can be made safe. Like, come on, man. Like, stop it. Like, let's 4-4 is buzzing as hell. Let's cut the shit. Jade, I would actually move up to top tier. Don't know why she's down there. We know what time it is with Jade. B tier, viable. They might show. So the viable tier are the characters that, like, they might have a few matchups that are really rough, but overall they can compete. Like, you can win with these characters. You don't have to play a secondary. Now, eventually you're gonna run into the top tier characters, and one of those might be a matchup that's rough for you, but it isn't like the character is holding you back. It isn't like you cannot consistently compete and win at higher levels with the character. That's what I mean by viable, but they may struggle. Like, it doesn't mean they don't lose any matchups. Hell, Joker loses a couple matchups, right? You know what I mean? The only characters that probably don't lose matchups are the SS tier characters. The ones at the top, the overpowered ones, because they just always have options. They always have options. Like, if Sub-Zero gets out neutral, gets out zoned, cool, he can EX Ice Ball. Now you can't zone him, right? Not that you can zone him to begin with, right? Like, you have options in all those situations. These characters, like I said, like, I'll put Shao Kahn in here as well, especially after the last buffs he got. Yeah, he's still gonna struggle, but Shao Kahn can get the job done if you genuinely know how to play him and you genuinely know how to play the game. You can make him work, right? You're gonna need to make some hard reads with him, but you have breakaway. This game has breakaway, so you know what I mean? Getting punished doesn't necessarily mean you get punished. Like, it's crazy. Then I have the C tier, not viable, Devora, Baraka, Katana. I have Katana and not viable because all her mix-ups are fake unless she uses that overhead move that replaces Square Wave, and that makes her a lot worse as a character, but it gives her mix. I don't think anybody's gonna argue about Melina or Rambo being here. I have to put Rain here because they didn't fix him. I have to, even though I think Rain is one change away from being top tier or at least viable. Like, you know, Spawn got to be down here because Spawn just doesn't have. He's not viable. I don't know how to say it. He's not viable. Everything Spawn does is fake. Same with Frost, right? Frost isn't really in a tier of her own. I just need to make it clear that she's worse in the game, like I always do. Characters like Spawn and Frost just don't have any real options in a lot of situations, and they have to resort to fake offense. Like Spawn doing standing 3-4 into Fireball is fake. It's not real. You do not have to block that. And that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Like when Sonic Fox told me, Sonic Fox said to me, Spawn has the best high string in the game. And I said, that's not true at all. Standing 3-4 with Spawn is unsafe on whiff. It's unsafe on block. And if it is blocked, if it is hit confirmable into a launcher, into a combo. But if it's blocked, he's unsafe. There is no safe special move he can cancel it into. Fireball's not safe. You can low profile the first fireball because it's a hide. It does not jail. You can go under it, then you can jump the EX if he does that and full combo punish him. Now nobody does that because nobody labs this game. So yeah, there are a lot of things like that. So I know people are always gonna disagree with me but I'm always gonna just default to saying, hey, most people don't lab this game. Most people don't lab every matchup. Most people don't lab the characters. Most people just don't know how to play fighting games in general. Most people who play this game don't play good. They play gimmicky, and that includes pro players. Like one thing me and Sonic Fox have agreed on since the beginning of this game, 99% of the people who play it are bad at it because you don't have to be good at it. I don't blame people for being bad at this game. You never needed to get good at it, right? You just never needed to do it. So anyway, that's my final tier list, just to throw that in this video as well. Now back to just general stuff. I do think this game had a lot of potential, like my final thoughts for real. I do think this game had a lot of potential, right? Could have been a really good game. Could have been a great game. Could have been one of the best games, the FGC has really seen. It could have just some slight tweaks could have fixed it. Fix breakaway, fix jumping, fix pokes. And it sucks because they tried to fix pokes, or at least they say they tried to fix pokes. So there's that. But yeah, if they would have just succeeded in that, actually tried to fix being in the air, fix breakaway, you know what I mean? Fix those little things. It's like 3 or 4 little things they could have fixed, and everything else would have been fine. I don't even mind characters being busted as hell if the general system mechanics in the game were busted too. Like I would be so much more okay with dealing with Jackie's leap if leap was just a worse move because being in the air was weaker than it is in the game, right? I don't think the problem was the characters in the game, even though some characters are fucked up. Like Sub-Zero having the 50-50s, right? Like some characters are fucked up, but I do think the biggest problems were just the game generally. The core game. Which is why no matter how many new characters we add as DLC, it doesn't matter. Even if they do announce a Combat Pack 3, it will still be the same shit game. Everybody's still gonna hate it. It's not gonna make... It'll be cute for 2 weeks. Get some YouTube content off. Get some stream content off. And then it's gonna go back to being hated. So yeah. Final thoughts on the game is it's sad that it went this way. I'm glad that I ended up making a lot of content, having a lot of fun, talking about it a lot, but I think the game is just dead now. It's over with. There isn't really any question about it. Shout out to the people that try to keep it alive, or whether it's for your own gain, whether it's just because you love the game, whatever it is. But I do think objectively it is what it is. But yeah, man. There's plenty of other fighting games about to come out. Y'all should definitely check out some other games, whether they're, AAA releases from studios, whether they're indie games. You got games like Corrupt, you got games like Pocket Bravery. There are other games coming out. There's plenty of fighting games to be played, and other video games will be coming out soon. We got E3 coming up next week. I still think NetherRealm is going to announce a new IP at E3, but hey, man, we'll see. Either way, something's getting announced soon. Ed Boon is still teasing Marvel, so we'll see what's going on. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate everybody who's ever watched any of my videos, especially if you subscribed, especially if you liked. I genuinely appreciated it. People that leave the comments all the time. I'm not going nowhere. I don't want this video to sound like, oh, it's your last video ever. But the content obviously won't be as MK11 heavy anymore because, I'm not going to be playing the game anymore. So I just wanted to put that out there. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Just hope all y'all have a good one. Stay safe. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. JSF, I'm outie. Peace.